welcome to my channel where you will find lifestyle and fitness content. My name is Michelle and in today's video I'm going to be following J-Hope's stretching routine. I think he shared this routine on a live stream, but I found the routine on YouTube, so I'll link the video I used for reference in the description box. This is a stretching flow routine, but I'm going to tweak it a little bit because sometimes Hobi changes positions too quickly and some of the exercises he does are static stretches, which means you're supposed to hold the position for a bit longer. So what I'm going to do is just hold those positions for longer instead of doing the exact time that Hobi did. So yeah, let's try this stretching routine. Okay, so we're going to start with some neck exercises. Hobi does them pretty quickly. He doesn't stay in each stretch for more than just a couple seconds, but I'm going to hold each one for around 10 seconds. First, we'll start with some neck tilts. Then we'll move on to neck flexion and extension. For the neck extension, he also includes a bit of a back extension, so we'll be doing that as well. Next up is the butterfly stretch, which is one of my favorites. I'll be holding this stretch for 20 seconds. Next, we have this stretch. Honestly, I'm not sure what it's called, and it's funny because I do it a lot, but I don't know its name. I think it might be called the one-legged forward bend, but I could be wrong. Anyway, I'll be holding this one for 20 seconds on each side. For the first 10 seconds, I'll aim to touch my foot with my opposite hand, and then I'll bend forward to touch my foot with both hands. We go back to the butterfly stretch, but this time we'll push our legs towards the floor with our hands. And I'll hold this for 10 seconds. Okay, after that we're doing this stretch. I'm not sure what it's called. I did some research and it might be a double pigeon, but I'm not sure. Anyway, I held this stretch for 20 seconds. While holding this stretch, Hobi leans forward for a bit, then extends his back and does some neck rotations. So I did the same thing. After that, Hobi keeps his legs in the same position and does a seated spinal twist. I held this position for 10 seconds, then switched sides. So I repeated the 20 seconds of the double pigeon stretch with my legs switched. And then did 10 seconds of the seated spinal twist on the other side. Next, we lie down on the floor and pull one knee to our chest. I held this stretch for 10 seconds. After that, I guided the same leg across my body into a supine spinal twist, holding this stretch for 10 seconds as well. I then repeated these two stretches with the opposite leg. Now we have the figure 4 stretch, which I held for 10 seconds on each side. Next, we do the knees to chest pose, where you simply hug both of your knees. I held this pose for 10 seconds. Coming up next, we have the shoulder stand. Hobi does it while also incorporating some bicycles and splits. You can choose to do all of that or not, depending on your ability and what feels comfortable and safe for you. Please stay safe, be mindful of your own ability as you can get injured. I have done this exercise before, but it's been a while, so I was very careful and kept it simple. Next, we have a downward dog into a cobra. I held the downward dog for 10 seconds and then moved into the cobra for 10 seconds as well. From the cobra, we go into a child's pose, which I absolutely love. It feels so good. Next, we move on into the frog pose, which I held for 20 seconds. Then we transition to a 90-90 and I held this position for 15 seconds on each side. After that, we have a seated forward bend, which I held for 20 seconds. Next up, we have some ankle rotations, and I did 5 rotations in each direction for each ankle. Coming up, we have lateral side bends into wide-legged standing forward bend. I did this dynamic stretch for about 20 seconds, trying to mimic Hobi as best as I could. Next, we have a standing shoulder stretch, which I held for 10 seconds. Then Hobi does some arm swings, similar to the ones swimmers do before they get in the pool, and then he goes into a squat hold. I held that position for 10 seconds. After that, he does some spinal twist in that position. Next, Hobi does a standing quad stretch, which I held for 10 seconds on each side. And to finish up, we have a cross arm stretch, and I held this one for 10 seconds on each side. Okay, so that was the stretching routine. It took me around 15 minutes to complete it, and I have to say it felt really nice. I really enjoyed it. It was a very simple routine. The only exercise that might not be accessible is the shoulder stand, but aside from that, it's quite easy to follow. The only change I made to this routine was holding some of the stretches for longer, because personally I prefer to take my time with the stretching. I don't like to rush through the movements, just to be mindful of what I'm doing. I highly recommend this stretching routine, especially if you've been sitting for a while, as it feels super good. Anyway, if you like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!